Durdle Magic. Thank you for tuning in to Durdle Magic. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell if you like the content you see here today, and leave a like and share the video with someone you might think is interested. Leaving those likes really helps us out, but another way to help us out is by using our TCG Player affiliate link below. If you're looking for singles, sealed product, or gaming accessories, please consider using our link to support the channel. We also have some playmats at inkgaming.com. Go ahead and hit the link in the description to check those out. Alright, let's grab some spells and Durdle with some magic. Hello and welcome back to Durdle Magic. Today, we're playing some more Yurlok of Scorched Thrash. Looking at our opening hand, we have plenty of lands, a way to get lands, and a guy that does the pinging when you do the things. Yeah, I think we could keep this. As long as we don't draw a bunch of lands, we should be good. Our commander is a 1 black red green 4/4 legendary creature Vaishino Shaman. Vigilance. A player losing unspent mana causes that player to lose that much life, and 1 tap, each player adds black red green to their mana pool. Our first opponent is Purphoros, God of the Forge. 3 red for a legendary 6/5 enchantment creature god. Indestructible, as long as your devotion is to red is less than 5. He doesn't get up to smack stuff. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. 2 in red, creatures you control get 1/0 till end of turn. Our next opponent is Gavi Nest Warden, 2 blue red white for a legendary 2/5 human shaman. You may pay 0 rather than pay the cycling cost of the first card you cycle each turn. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/2 red and white dinosaur cat creature token. And they are adorable. And our last opponent has a commander and a companion. Rin and Seri Inseparable, 1 red green white for a legendary 4/4 dog cat. Whenever you cast a dog spell, create a 1/1 green cat creature token. Whenever you cast a cat spell, create a 1/1 white dog creature token. And red green white tap. Rin and Seri Inseparable deals damage to any target equal to the number of dogs you control. You gain life equal to the number of cats you control. Hallowed Fountain into play for Gavi Nest Tender. Mountain was in play for Purphoros on the first turn. Going to roll over to us. We'll go over the companion to Rin and Seri in a minute. Comes our turn, we get Bane of Progress. That could be good. I don't know how good it's going to be against these opponents, though. Let's go ahead and play a command tower and pass it off. Ren Seri's companion is the cat. Kahira, the Orphan Guard, I think that's how it's pronounced. 1 Selesnya. Legendary Cat Beast 3/2 companion. Each creature card in your starting deck is a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast card. So I imagine it's going to be mostly cats. Vigilance, each other creature you control that's a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast gets 1/1 and has vigilance. So not too many dogs, I wager. But I guess there could be a hound beast or a hound nightmare that have been errated to dog nightmare. That could be possible. Clifftop Retreat into play for them. There's also some elemental dogs, not too many. Paco probably being the most prevalent that I can think of, but unfortunately he's not in the color identity. Mutavault into play for Purphoros. Alright, it becomes a 2/2 creature. That's basically as changeling until end of turn. Still a land. Where are they going to be swinging it? They are not swinging it anywhere. Alright. Over to Gavi. Command Tower into play for them. Yadara Wandering Monster being cycled. When you cycle it, shuffle it into your library from your graveyard. If you'd cycled this 4 times this game, put it onto the battlefield instead. Oh, this is the alternate art, but it's supposed to be the legendary red turtle. That's right, there was a legendary turtle before a Shellos. Comes to our turn, we get a swamp. Alright, so I don't think we really have to do anything. Let's just play Mosswort Bridge, get that down, get out of the way, hide away something. Hopefully we'll be able to use it. Mosswort Bridge has been a iffy land in this deck. We tend not to have a very large board presence as far as creatures go. Ooh, that's a lot of nice stuff. Thinking Hull Breach is probably going to be the most useful. And let's pass it off. Over to Ren and Seri. Command Tower into play. Everybody has one set Purphoros. They could have one. It'll be fine. They don't need an extra mountain. Over to Purphoros. Another land into play. Drop a couple goblins. Could be real bad. Although they might just be trying to, speaking of goblins, might just be trying to get out some mana rocks to get down Purphoros first. Goblin Burrows, by the way. Tap, add colorless, 1 red. Target goblin creature gains 2 till end of turn. So it's definitely got goblins on backup. Over to Gavi. Hopefully we get some removal for the goblins. They can get huge. They can get really big as far as their numbers. Could be bad. Forgotten Cave is getting a cycle. Desert of the Fervent into play for Gavi. Back to our turn, we get a land. Come on, deck. Don't do me like this. Let's go ahead and play a swamp and pass it off to our opponents. Gruul Turf into play on Rin and Seri's turn. They'll have to bounce a land. Over to Purphoros. Land into play. God to the battlefield. It is Purphoros, God of the Fords, bursting forth from the battlefield. Over to Gavi, Nest Warden. Hopefully we'll draw Barrier Breach. Gotta keep those gods down. Cough, Crufix, cough. Drifting Meadow into play for Gavi. Comes our turn, we get Chaos Warp. That'll be good. Alright, so for now though, because we're probably going to take some damage off Purphoros, let's go ahead and play Woodland Cemetery, summon our commander, and pass it off like that. Probably going to need to use Chaos Warp later on once we have more mana. Specifically with Yurlok would be good, but we'll have to see how things go. A lot of cycling can happen with Gavi. Over to Ren and Seri. They could bring their companion to their hand, but let's see what they do. I've only played against a deck like this once or twice, and now that they've had a chance to brew and get refined, I'm anxious to see what the deck does. King of the Pride, other cats you control get 2/1. I should also note that Changeling is coming back in Kildheim. Keep a lookout for that. I'm very excited for more Changelings. Boros Garrison into play for Rin and Seri. They bounce the command tower. Norn the Wary coming down for Purphoros. Oh no. Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with this card, we'll review it in a minute, but geez. Alright, there's the trigger for Purphoros. Let's review. Red 2/1, legendary creature, human warrior. When a player casts a spell or a creature attacks, exile this card, return to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So whenever we do something, we are taking 2. Goblin Warchief also coming down. Goblin spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and goblins you control have haste. That's not good. Norn the Warrior goes bye-bye. Purphoros triggers again. No attack out of the Purphoros player. End of turn, Norn the Warrior will come back, and we'll take an additional 2 from Purphoros. There's the damage. Purphoros at 40, Gavi at 34, we are at 34, and Ren and Seri are at 34. Shredded Sails, cycling is happening. Gavi will draw a card. Reflecting Pool into play. Over to us, we get Karavek the Merciless. That might be good later. Let's go ahead and play a Fabled Passage and go get a Mountain. Mountain into play. Let's go to attacks. Off into the Purphoros player. Norn the Wary will trigger. Alright, no blocks out of that. Let's see if they block with the Goblin Warchief. It's only a 2/2, so that's good. Probably getting for a little bit of damage. Damage is good, down to 36 for commander damage. To our second main phase, I think Karavek this early is in fact in order. Karavek the Merciless. Let's see if there's any response. Tevrid's Protection has a response out of the Gavi player. Alright. And we'll pass it off. Hopefully Karavek doesn't immediately eat the bucket. Goblin Burrows is being activated. Target Goblin will get 2/0 down to turn. Just trying to eat up some of that mana. Norn the Warrior will come back. Purphoros will trigger. Ren, Seri, and we will take 2 damage. Gavi is fine. We're down to 32. Ren, Seri's turn. Down to 29. Scaled Heights. Karavek will trigger. Let's go ahead and deal 3 damage to the Purphoros player. Norn the Warrior will also trigger. So Scaled Heights is put 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature you control. You gain 2 life. You may play an additional land this turn and draw a card. That's all pretty good for common at 2 and green. Command Tower into play. Buried Ruin into play. Cryptolith right. Let's use Karavek to destroy the Goblin this time. Goblin down. Alright, we'll have to take careful consideration with Ren and Seri if they're going all their cats are going to be mana dorks. Ren and Seri on the attack. Off into the Purphoros player. End of turn, Norn the Warrior comes into play. We'll take another 2 damage. We're down to 30. Ren, Seri to 29. Cairn Negotiations. 2 red. Tap an untap creature you control deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. We'll respond by poking Norn in the face. And Purphoros quits the game. Okay. Over to Gavi's turn. They phase back into existence after Tevri's Protection. Gavi Nest Warden coming down. Karavek the Merciless will trigger. I think we'll hit Ren and Seri with it. Gavi into play. Ren, Seri down to 24. Boros Garrison into play for Gavi. They'll have to bounce a land. Desert of the Fervent is getting cycled. It is the land they bounce to hand. Gavi's going to make an adorable kitty dragon. Gavi makes an adorable kitty dinosaur. Look at that face. I would totally raise one of those. Comes our turn, we get Torment of Hailfire. This is a new addition to the deck. I don't like using it, but it's kind of on the discard theme that we have going on. I'm going to try to use this to close out the game and not necessarily play it now, because that's just kind of a poop. Twilight Mire into play, if you please. And then we'll summon the Harsh Mentor. This should put Gavi in an interesting predicament. And then we can activate Hideaway. Not an artifact to destroy, but I do want to get rid of the Cryptolith. Hull Breach to destroy it. And then let's go to attacks. We will attack into the Ren Seri player. And we'll pass it off there. Ren Seri down to 20 for commander damage. Clifftop Retreat into play for them. Ren Seri inseparable. Alright, so it does cost 4. We can't kill Gavi, but we will do 4 to them. I suppose I should be more accurate. We can't kill Gavi the creature, but we'll deal 4 damage to the player. That's it for Ren Seri. They do have some mana up. Over to Gavi's turn. Splendor Mare getting cycled. Oh, Harsh Mentor doesn't affect the cycling. Sad face. Gavi triggers, they'll make another adorable kitty sore. Comes our turn, we get Sepulchral Primordial. No creature in that graveyard, and here we have Splendor Mare. So, lifelink? I mean, that's nice, I guess. Let's play Swamp. I guess we could play Torment of Hailfire for like 4. That might be good. So let's go ahead and do that, I suppose. Torment of Hailfire for 4. This way we get rid of some of the resources, maybe clear the board, and keep them under control. Oh, we have Fierce Guardianship. There you go. Straight up. Alright. Well, can't be too mad about that, can we? Let's see. Where do we want to deal the 3? Let's do King of the Pride with it. King of the Pride down. Fierce Guardianship indeed. On flavor and everything. Okay, I guess we just pass it off for now. See what happens. Descendant's Path. Alright, so that's 3 mana. So we'll deal 3 to the Gavi player. So Descendant's Path reads, 2 green enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. If it's a creature spell, it shares a creature type with a creature you control. Otherwise, put that card on the bottom of your library. Armadillo Cloak. So deal 3 damage to it now, be able to deal 3 to it later perhaps? Could play Chaos Warp on it too. Let's go ahead and hit Gavi. Alright, so now it has Lifelink, Trample, and 2/2. The Lifelink will be relevant for the damage dealing ability, assuming they have any other dogs somehow. They're on the attack. They're off into the Gavi player. I can live with that. Although them gaining life isn't the best. But we'll hold on to Chaos Warp for now. Gavi on the intercept. Let's see if they have protection for it. They let Gavi go. Armadillo Cloak will trigger. Now, to keep in mind, this doesn't have the keyword lifelink. So the evergreen keyword is not on there. So if you do this and then give it lifelink, it will get double lifelink, essentially. Gavi down to 25, 1 commander damage. Mystical Tutor at the end of turn. We'll deal 1 damage to Ren Seri. Make it all even. Ren Seri, I guess, will now be down to 25. Alright, Mystical Tutor goes to Resolve. They do have to reveal it. Who wants to guess and see if it's a Psych Rift? Oh, no, it's Descend Upon the Sinful. So Descend Upon the Sinful does exile, and that's somewhat problematic. So I do want to save Karavek, but should we use Chaos Warp to like quasi-save him? Because otherwise we don't get him back at all. We have a full attack. Cutie Dinosaur Kitties off into the Ren Seri player. Some cat-on-cat violence. That's not very nice. Damage is good. They're down to 21 over on the Ren Seri side. Here comes Descend Upon the Sinful. There it is. Karavek will trigger. We'll deal 6 damage to the Gavi player. And then we'll activate Yurlok for some mana. So let's do Chaos Warp on Karavek, sure. Might as well save it. Maybe we can redraw it or something. We get a land into play. It's a hideaway land. That's nice. Ooh, that's a lot of stuff. Harvest of Souls could be good unless there's a lot of exile. Massacre Girl might be even better. Let's get her. Damage is good with the 6 from Karavek. Descend Upon the Sinful will descend upon us, although we're not very sinful, are we? We're just trying to hunt and jund. We'll return our commander to the command zone. Ren Seri also returned their commander. Wheel of Fortune. Ah, sad face. Sepulchral Primordial would have been great. We also lost the recursion for it. Our new hand has Throne of the High City. Nature's Claim's gonna be good. Root Weaver Druid's probably not something I want to do. Zoncha Sleeper Agent could be good. Beast Within is removal, and we have a wheel of our own. Cloud of Fairies coming down. When enters the battlefield, untap 2 lands, cycling 2. Mana Crypt coming down for them as well. If Frantic Search. Draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards, untap up to 3 lands. Ironcrag Pyromancer. Whenever you draw a second card each turn, deal 3 damage to any target. That'll be pretty good in there. That's it for Gavi. Comes over to us. We get a mountain. Let's go ahead and play it. And then I'm thinking Beast Within the Ironcrag person because I don't want to be taking any extra damage. That's our job. And then Zoncha Sleeper Agent on them and draw a card. Seems like a plan. Zoncha Sleeper Agent. We'll pick the Gavi player. And then we'll draw a card. We get Waste Not. That'd be good with the mages. I think we need to wait a turn on that though. Let's just keep up removal and pass it off, I think. We have a Brainstorm. Let's see what will send the damage. I imagine it's going to be at us. Yep, it's at us. We'll go down to 27. Feldar Retreat into play for the Ren Seri player. Land into play, they get to make a kitty. Evolving Wilds gets cracked in response. Hey, Forest into play tapped. Feldar Retreat will trigger again. Here you go, Leosaur. Mutate. When it mutates, other creatures you control get 2/1 till end of turn. It mutates onto a creature. Over to Gavi, Bonk Crypt will trigger. They lose the flip, they're down to 14. Gavi Nest Warden coming back down for that player. And then Psychosis Crawler. Well, we can't have that now, can we? They're cycling a card. Let's go ahead and play Nature's Claim on Psychosis Crawler. Psychosis Crawler down. Ironcrag Pyromancer will trigger again, so will Gavi. Ironcrag's gonna be hitting us for 3. Yep, seems legit. Alright, we have an attack. We have Zoncha. It has to attack. Off into the Ren Seri player. We're taking a fairy. Damage is good. Ren Seri down to 16. We are down to 23. Comes our turn. We get Ball-Ged Recovery. Nice. Throne of the High City into play, please. Alright, so we could get back Torment of Hailfire or Sepulchral Primordial. And we have been wheeled. A bunch of people have been wheeled for a lot of stuff, actually. And Psychosis Car might help us win the game. We also have Ancient Green Warden in this graveyard over here. We have only 1 land to get back, but that could be good. Ball-Ged Recovery, Sepulchral Primordial to hand. And then let's go ahead and summon it. Get an Ancient Green Warden. Get Psychosis Crawler. And we'll pass it there. I imagine there's going to be a board wipe or something, but we'll see. Over to Ren Seri's turn, Descendant's Path will trigger. They will get to reveal the top card of the library and possibly put it into their hand. It's Selesnya Sanctuary, so that's no go. That's it for Ren Seri. Over to Gavi's turn, the Bonk Crypt. We know what it does. Let's see if they get the Bonk. Ren Seri quit the game. Okay, that's unfortunate. And the Bonk trigger does give them the Bonk. Azorius Chantry into play. They'll be bouncing the Drifting Meadow to cycle. Drifting Meadow gets the cycle. A number of triggers to the stack. The Cat Token will take 3 more damage. We're down to 20. They're going to use Zoncha to draw themselves some cards. Sad Robot coming down. They'll get a land into play. We're being attacked by a cloud of fairies. We take 1. We are down to 19. Psychosis Crawler will trigger. Our opponent will lose 1 life. Play Gaven Carns. Still don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And then let's play some Swiftfoot Boots. And then let's see if they have counter magic for Magus of the Wheel. If not, we can do that and then Waste Not, and then Boots and probably activate. Thinking we have enough mana to do that. Okay, well, let's go ahead and attach the Swiftfoot Boots. Dismantling Wave. When you cycle, destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Alright, so what do we want to do with that? I think in response we'll just draw a card with Zancha. Seems like a good idea. We get Vandal Blast. That's not helpful. Sad Robot dies, they'll get to draw a card. Then Dismantling Wave will get cycled, they'll draw another card and probably deal with our Magus of the Wheel. Yep, there it is. Oh, sorry, no, they dealt 3 to us. Yeah, that works out. And then I guess we'll just play Waste Not and have that ready to go for the next turn. Nothing else to do. And pass it off. And overloaded Psychrift. Kinda saw that coming. Tranth Healer coming down for Gavi. They're going to cycle. They'll gain a life. Gavi and Ironcrag Pyromancer will trigger. We're taking another 3. So that'll put us down to 13. If they attack with all of the guys able to attack, let's see, we'll be taking 8 and 9. We'll be pretty close to death here. All they have to do is cycle twice more, and I think we're dead. Yep, there's the attack. We'll be taking 9. We are down to 4. Comes to our turn. We get Heroic Intervention. Not terribly helpful. I don't think we're going to survive. Let's go ahead and try to Beast Within the Ironcrag Pyromancer. I don't think it's going to work, but let's see. Choking Tethers is getting cycled. They'll gain a life. They're drawing a card with Zancha as well. We could also potentially draw another one, and they'd lose 6 life total. They would gain 1 life, so it'd be 5. Let's see what we draw first. Grim Tutor. That could be very good, but we wouldn't have but 2 mana to cast anything. That's the problem. Alright, we're going to be taking 3 more damage. Unfortunate for us. Alright, we're down to 1. Unfortunately, we could have Grim Tutored for Rakdos Charm, which would have been so good right now. But unfortunately, that's off the table. I guess we'll try to draw 1 more card and see where that gets us. We get Deadly Rollick. That's not going to be helpful. Alright, let's just cast Waste Not and give it to our opponent. Too bad we were so low on life. Rakdos Charm off a Grim Tutor would have just... we would have gotten it. Close game. Gavi straight to combat. They attack with everything able. So, we'll be taking lethal. Good game to our opponents. Negative 17. Okay, so who are we going to give the points to? I think I'm going to give it to the person who played Ren and Seri. I still want to see a deck do well in that. And they kind of got bugged over, so I'm going to give it to them. Just personal bias of mine. Alright, most of the points went to the winner. That's fine with me. Let's go ahead and take a look at the deck. Alright, here's the deck. Made a bunch of changes from last time, mostly including a lot of wheeling and discarding effects. So we have cards like Runehorn Hellkite. When it dies, we can wheel stuff anyway. Might replace that eventually with something. Looking at some other options. Also have Dragon Mage. When it hits, everybody wheels. We also have Incendiary Command. That'll wheel us sort of. It does it equal to the hand size already, so it's not the best wheel, but it does destroy a non-basic land. And guys, create an Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth RP in my butt. We also have Siphon Mind over here. So basically card draw and discard all in one. And Ingrath the Flame Chained. Usually I use it for the steal effect, but if I can keep doing the +1 and the opponents keep losing life, discarding cards, it's all in good fun. The ultimate can also break a game in half. Especially if somebody's doing like reanimation stuff. Getting it to 8's almost impossible, but I have done it in paper and it can really just wreck somebody. We also have Rankled Master of Pranks. He already kind of does the discard thing, rather. He also can let people draw cards or each player sacrifices a creature. The sacrificing a creature part doesn't really work in here. We usually don't have a large board presence. But if you want to go with like Jund tokens of some kind where you can sink the mana into making a bunch of tokens, then you can have that. We also have the Mages of the Wheel, which we saw in this game, and Wheel of Misfortune, which I think is just kind of fun and hilarious. As for payoffs of those effects, we only have a few really. We do have Geth's Grimoire. Whenever an opponent discards a card, you may draw a card, so the may part's important here, and if you get it going, it can provide a lot of card draw over your opponents. We also have Waste Not over here as a payoff for our opponents discarding cards. Creature cards give us 2/2 black zombie creature token. When they discard land, we get mana, and whenever they discard something else, we get to draw a card, so again, more payoff there. And then we have Bone Miser, which is kind of expensive at 5 mana, but it's whenever you discard a card. But on the bright side, you get to control it you discard most of the time, especially if you have one-time effects with like Rankle. Not so much with the wheels, but you do get stuff back for that. So you get to draw maybe a little bit of extra card draw, get some mana to set yourself up for something, and some creatures to defend yourself. We also have Painful Quandary, forgot to mention up front. In Yurlok, it's a bit of a Punisher helping kind of deck, but we need to make sure that if we're going to help our opponents, we're also going to be later hurting our opponents, and this card does fairly well at that. Okay, so here's the deck. I'll post a link to the deck list in the description below, and or you can wait until the deck coming out the day after this video does. And I'll explain some of my motivations for how the deck was built. I didn't go really heavy with the make sure they either tap or don't tap their lands and make sure they generate mana so you can burn them kind of thing. We did put in one infinite combo in the deck with our commander, Leyline of Abundance, and Umbral Mantle to give them infinite mana. It never came up. I don't tend to use it, and frankly, like I said in the last video, I got comboed out after the last deck because that deck would have had like 5 combos, possibly 6 combos. In either case, if you want to check out the deck, like I said, the link is in the description below, or you can wait for the deck tech tomorrow. If you saw any cards you want in your paper collection, please consider using our TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. It helps out the channel and doesn't cost you anything extra. Alright, see you at the deck tech, and after that, I'll see you for another commander from Commander Legends.